So here we go. It's the non-initiative player phase from the January-February turn in 1915. On the Western fronts, the Austrian had the non-initiative and the Germans. And the Austrians deployed here the two forts with only one unit, and all the reinforcement from strategic turn C are going to this front at Caporetto and Isonzo, well-known battlefields. The number of units exactly fits for the space what is available. And yes, in the next round we can see Italian attacks, how good they can accomplish this task. On the second Western Front map are the Germans in full attack. They planned four fights against the French and one fight against the Britain. The French and the Britain now have the bonus from entrenching. And yes, before we came to the other fronts, I will do the battles here. The Germans deployed two stacks with each 6 units with an attack factor from 4, so it's no, 5 units, sorry, so it's 20, it's 40 to be prepared for 40 to the colonial troops. Yeah, and there is one, luckily only one, not 2. That would be a problem. The French had to think about sometimes pull 2 good units together. Okay, and the headquarter, and if the 3 units gun, then the headquarter also is defeated. I roll the dice, it's a 4-1, and it's a 5. -1 for the trench is a 4, 4-1, 4, 4-1, 4. It's enough to kill this stack. Yes, and also the headquarter. Yeah, that's not so good, of course. Yes, I put them only in the dead pile and sort it later out. The German are unstoppable, and they roll good dice. I think this is one of the main skills you have to have as a good player. So here it's there are only 2 units, so I prepared for 7, and there are 3, 6, 9, 13 and 15. Yeah, I think 15. One more, yes, one more, 15. It's 28. 13 and 15 is 28. And even it's a colonial unit. It's a 4-1, but it's only 6. Yes, it's also 4-1. 4-1 -1. Now it's a 3, 1 and 2. All what the French had. And the German lose attack factor, attack group. And they're in the near of, what is it for a town? Is it Toul. Okay. At this spot in the forest, there are also 2 units, and there are 9, and here are 12. So it's 21. It's 7. It's a 3-to-1. Oh, I forgot this stack here. These are another 11. So 11, and so it's 20. Oh, okay, 20, 32, 35. 35 against 7, 5-to-1, and the first is a 4-to-1. 4-to-1, 3 is a 2, and it's 1 and 2. Both French, and 1 German, and attack. Take this ground. Good. Good rolls for the Germans till now, and yeah, good odds, I think. So here we have also 2 in the forest. We have 12, I think. 12, 3, 6, 9 is 21, and 12 is 33, 36. 36 against 7 is the same as 5-to-1. It's 4-to-1 to the first. 4-to-1, and it's a 4, and it's without losses. No, I'm not sure how long the French can pay this immense blood. They lost nearly 2, 4, 6, 10 units. 10 units around, and the Germans only 2. And the Germans get a lot more reinforcements and replacements, I think. And yeah, and the problem is, yes, this is perhaps a point for general discussion in this game. Yeah, as you see, you play every front very differently. The Western Front with this one solid line with a lot of bloody attacks, not much movement, stand still, the trench war. It's very good designed from the game rules. On the other side, the Italian front, where we have here also some trench or immobile warfare, but in the Alp regions it's a little bit of cat and mouse. At the Eastern Theater, with the same rules, with the same units, a really different game, because the Russian had to do, yes, they tried to make a solid line, but they cannot do it because the space is too big, too much hexes to cover. And so there are always possibilities, open field, more maneuvers, more mobility, and is exactly what happens on the Eastern Front. And as I said, it's the same rules. And then the Near East, it's a crazy other game with only a handful of pieces and so much fun. And yes, and the British here, and that was the point where I came to this philosophical issues, I would say, is that the Britain, they have to spend troops from the Western Theater to send them to Near East. As you remember, in the last turn, the Turkish killed a step in Egypt, and the Suez Canal is quite open, and they are all victory hexes. And it's true, too serious threat that they can't ignore it, and they have to pull troops out of Europe here. Even they cannot do it because the French are losing the war, and yes, it's very difficult, and that's also a reason why the Germans attack the Britain, because they know exactly what they do. And yes, we have here only a one-step unit with four defense factors, and here comes 3, 6, 8, 8 and 6 is 14, and 6 is 20. It's a 5-1. Yeah, and the Britain can do this headquarter to a 4-1, but he's killed in both directions. It doesn't matter. So he let the headquarter be still there, and it's a 5-1. -1, yeah. -1 is 1 and 2. Yeah. The headquarter didn't make a difference. He is killed, and one German, and I think this was the one the Germans had prepared for this special task. And yes, we can advance. Would be better to put this guy here in the front row in this salient here, but yeah, you can always do it better. Okay, the Western Front is over. Great attacks, great breakthroughs, and we're going over to the Eastern Front, and here is a little bit strategy change, I would like to say, because the Germans changed the strategy. They tried to close together to the Austrian troops to be the Südkommando in contact, so they can benefit from it. And the Russians react, and they abandoned the northern flank, because they said, okay, come on, my forts are waiting for you. I'm strong enough. You can kill one of them or two of them, doesn't matter. I hammer the Austrians. And now they are better prepared for better attacks than the last round, I think. With the headquarter nearby, I think I forgot it last time, but it doesn't matter because now they can act. They can act, and they are taking the salients here with full power. This is the most important thing. And yeah, as you can see, I figured out the odds, and even only if there are not 9 numbers, yeah, then we can change the odds. It's the 3-1, and now it's a 4-1. The 7th Army is preparing their artillery. 4-1, I said, 4-1, and it's a 3. 4-1, a 3. It's only 1 and 2. Oh, my table is so 1 and 2 to Austrians, and this was the one planned to be killed. Okay, now going to this spot. Yeah, they assembled a lot of troops around this corner. It's a 3-1, and now it's a 4-1, and the Russian hope that the god of the dice is now a little bit. No, 4-1, 2 is also 1 and 2. 1 and 2. The line holds, because it will be good for the Russians if the line broke on the one or the other end, because then there are more salients, corners, who can attack more efficiently from 3 directions. Yeah, but in the long run it will work. Okay, here's a 4-1, and oh, there is only 8 factors. I have to count 8. 36 assemble around it. Yes, 36 to 15 cores, and 1 6 core, yes, and it's 8. It's also 4 to 1. Okay, and yeah, it's 4 to 1 without the headquarter. I'm thinking about why it was. This here was the forest with defensive terrain, so it was only a 3 to 1. And here the forest is missing. It's a 4 to 1. And the Russians are not lucky. Not lucky. Only 2, and the line still stand, and only this Landwehr unit and not the good Schützen unit killed. And yes, they take one of the 2 3 4s. Okay, yeah, 2 3 4s. Yes, that was right. Good. Yes, I have to think about the strategic movement later. What I can say is what I can do, because the Russians do the strategic move. They can pull troops from here to the Near East, but as you see in a moment, is that in the East are enough units to move via strategic movement on this front. So they can do both. It's only 2 units can move. Intra-theater and Near East, or between the theaters, but the intra-theater is now much more important. Yeah, I think the Germans can do a little bit, but it's not so important that I have to put it on the video. Okay, and the Austrians, of course, they have to pull units, all what they can scramble together to the Italian front to stable this, because this could be critical. Okay, then we can take a look to the last place. It's the Caucasus, and as we see here, the Russians get some reinforcements: 2 3 4 4 units, and 1 2 3 4. They're moving by feet over the streets here to save this spot, because the Turkish can go over this round, and yes, every town is worthful. And yeah, they don't do attack or go in the offensive yet. Only at this point here in Viste, okay, Viste near Batum. And the reason is, yeah, the Turkish had 4 strategic moves, and they can do it after the Allied have done their move, so they can respond. And yes, they can put 3 units here in this direction and kill something of that, but I would like to be a little more pressure from the Russian side to hinder the Turkish from put too many troops to Egypt and capture Suez Canal. But I think the Turkish will do it anyway, and even if they lose here some points, and Trebizond as well. So that doesn't, it's a problem for the Turkish, but not a big one. They have time to come back. Okay, so the move is done. It's no attack here. It's only a threat against Trebizond, and if they don't reinforce, he had to pull back. And the first Turkish city is in Russian hand and can be plundered. And here is the the strategic move goes to Batum. The 2 units that can moved here, and it is all good. Yes. So now it's the turn is over. The February turn, 1915. No, not yet. The strategic movement, of course, at the European theaters, and I will do the movement here from the Turkish people, because this is, I think, interesting. They can move 4, and I put 1 unit, in Iraq, and I put it to Kut. Kut is a special town with special with car hexes, special supply rules, and so and it's a focus point on the way to Baghdad. On the other spots, he can easily go out of the way and go forward without harming the unit. But in Kut, I think he has to go over Kut or oben Kermanshah, but I think this is it's a little bit far away. So there is one unit. As I said, in the Caucasus, they have to look for themselves. And yes, I try to go with 3 units to Suez Canal. And yes, the problem is that there is that the Britain can go first. And the situation now is there. This is a supply source. But 2, 3, 4. No, they cannot cut supply because they only have supply by themselves. 1, 2, 3, 4 to these points here, and he can easily. So he can cut off, and so I put all the troops in the front line. And yes, I'm interesting in what the Britain do now, because yes. With the movement factor from 8 in the Western theater, because this is the scale of this map is there that they have 8 movement factors. 1, 2, 3. Desert is 2. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And attack. So it's not wise to let this unit there, because if they attack, they can advance after. But no, they cannot go so far away, because here quality is it's written, it's not a supply source. So quality had to, or qualia has to be defended, and also this town, and also this town is, of course, yeah. I have to look how I can do it with some little more in the quiet offline. Good. So that's all for now. Have a nice day. See you. Bye bye.